Well, what's up guys? It's a beautiful sunny day here in Sarasota, Florida, where I'm at Infiniti of Sarasota with this beautiful brand new 2022 Infiniti QX60. Now this is the newest addition to Infiniti lineup, brand new, completely redesigned from the ground up. And today I'm going to take you on the tour of it. We're going to check out the exterior, interior, jump inside of it, play with some cool and interesting feature. And as always in each video at the end of it, I'm going to take you for a spin. So if you're ready, let's go. Well, I'm really excited to bring this vehicle to you guys, and I gotta tell you, I've had a couple Infinitis before. I had a QX4, both in '97, then to 2002. Also, a family member had the FX45. And I gotta tell you, we loved the QX4s, but then in the beginning of 2000s, I think Infiniti just kind of became this blah automaker. It wasn't anything special. Interior felt cheap. So I'm really excited that they're bringing it back. They're bringing in the style, they're bringing in the luxury, they're bringing in the quality with it. And I haven't seen the slogan, but make Infiniti great again. I think they did it with this one. So let's take a look at the front end of this vehicle. The hood is nice and large, and there's one distinct body line going in the middle of it, but both sides I raised up, and that makes it for this more masculine look of it. Front grille also big. A lot of manufacturers are doing with the big grills. Big, very pronounced Infiniti logo of it. If you didn't know what it is, it's stamped right here, Infiniti, right at the bottom of this chrome trim. Now I like how they did the lights. They're nice, they're very narrow, but they're sleek, stylish design of it. Fully LED lights. That light signature of it kind of blends in with the rest of the design of this vehicle. Now, one thing that I was kind of curious, and I thought this was open. It's not. It's just a design element. It looks pretty cool though. So I mean, this is just a design trim on it, and I like how they did the matte black at the bottom of it. So if you scratch it up, you're not going to damage the paint of this. And then there is some polished aluminum trim pieces right here. Well, let's pop the hood open and let's see what hides underneath it. Let's check out what's underneath the hood. I gotta tell you, I like that they put the hydraulic struts on it. I wish they would raise this hood a little bit taller, a little bit higher, but nevertheless it is here. So nice engine cover right here. All you can see is a V6 and Infiniti badge on it. What it is, it's a 3.5 liter V6 engine, naturally aspirated, 295 horsepower, 270 pound-feet of torque. Now it's mated to a, wait for it, 9-speed automatic transmission. Yes, no CVT, and that's a huge difference. That's a big plus in my book. Now what it also does, it allows this vehicle to tow up to 6,000 pounds, so it's one of the best in class for the midsize luxury premium SUV. Well, I can't wait to see how it drives, but before we do that, let's check out the rest of the exterior. I gotta tell you, this vehicle looks great from every angle. We took a look at the front end, absolutely stunning. The side of it, it's very nice, it's stylish, it's sporty. It can be unisex almost, because it's not too masculine, it's not too delicate, and I think they just nailed it right on the head with the design of it. Now, if you think that it reminds you a little bit of a Nissan Pathfinder, and that's because it's the sibling to the Pathfinder. It's built on the same platform. It shares the transmission, the engine with it. Of course, Infiniti is more premium, so it adds a little bit more features on the interior, on the exterior. Now this is the Luxe version, so as far as the versions of this QX60, it starts with Pure, then it's Luxe, then it's sensory, and then it's autograph, the highest end trim. First time introduced with a lot of bells and whistles that you haven't seen on Infiniti before. But today we have this Luxe version, and I like it a lot. I love the Infiniti paint. This is white, and you might not see it, but there's a lot of flake inside of it. It's this metallic paint. It is an extra option, costs you about $695, but it's definitely well worth it. Now, 20-inch wheels on this particular one. I like the design of the wheels. I like how they're polished aluminum right on top with the gray on the inside of the light, and you can see, of course, the disc brakes underneath it. So fully loaded mirrors, as I like to call them. And what I mean by that, they do have the blind spot assist. They do have the turn signal built in right here, and they also have the cameras that are built in it, which I'm super excited because that means that it does have the 360. And the mirror caps are black in color, so it's really nice. It breaks up that white color of this vehicle. Now, if you were to opt in for the autograph edition, it is a two-tone, and it wears it really, really well. So if you've seen one with the black top and the different color at the bottom of it, that's the autograph edition. As far as the door handles, they have a little bit of a chrome trim right on top of here. Of course, it's equipped with a smart entry system, so all you have to do to lock it, see, I have the key in my pocket. I just locked it. See, the mirrors blink. To unlock it, the opposite, I put my hand inside of the door handle. The sensor senses that I have a key, and it's going to open it up. Not sure, I haven't decided that, and maybe you tell me whether you like it or not. As far as this cladding, now this is a premium vehicle, and I usually like it on more of the off-roady ones. Do you think they should paint it the same color as the rest of the vehicle, or leave it like this? Let me know in the comment section below. And nevertheless, it continues all the way across the vehicle, and there is Infiniti stamped right into this part of here. So if you haven't checked it out, if you don't know what you're driving, you just look on the side or in the front. I'm sure there's one in the back too, and that's what we're going to check out right now. But before we get to it, I like the roof rails are standard with this vehicle, so if you need to carry something, you can actually put some crossbars on it, and you can throw some cargo on top. Now, the design on it kind of narrows as we go towards the back, but that adds to that sportiness, sleek design of this vehicle. I'm gonna do one other thing. I'm gonna get in the back and check it out from there. We'll check it out in the back. It looks just as good as on the side and in the front. I gotta tell you, officially, right now, I'm telling this, is on record. This is by far my favorite design of the vehicle in 2021. So let's check this out. You have this nice big spoiler, the gate spoiler right on top of it, third brake light incorporated in it. It does have the wiper right here. Not sure why more manufacturers are not hiding it underneath it, but you know, it's not really that big of a deal. And it does have this black trim that kind of makes these windows look like one piece, like there's no pillars in the back here or anything like this. It looks really, really nice. Now, the lights, see how they wrap up? It's nice. They're thin, they're stylish, LED on top right here. Then you have your turn signals, you have your reverse lights, big Infiniti logo, you have the rear view camera, Infiniti spelled out right here, QX60. Now this is a front wheel drive. They're also available with the all-wheel drive version. And what's nice about the all-wheel drive version, that it can send up to 50% of the power to the rear wheels, which is pretty cool. Now let's concentrate on this. If we've seen that trim on the side of this vehicle, that matte black, and that continues, and it's kind of incorporated in this bumper. I like how they did it. It's a continuancy with the side of it, and then you have this white color underneath here, this trim pieces that kind of looks like a simulated exhaust, which is hidden underneath the vehicle. But overall, visually, it looks absolutely stunning. So let's pop this gate open and let's see how much room we have in the back area. Gate opens up nice and tall. I'm 6 feet tall, so I can fit in comfortably. And let me grab the camera, I'll show you what's in here. Guys, as we approach this vehicle, let's check out the roominess on the interior. So behind the third row seat, it doesn't have too much room. And matter of fact, it probably has a little bit less than on my Honda Pilot. So, I mean, this is not bad. Oh, wow, it does have some extra storage right underneath that floor, which adds to that roominess by quite a lot. And it's got a couple compartments, which I believe those can be removed, yes, and you can take them out if you need to carry something longer in here. Nice trim pieces right in here. Now the third row seat, okay, 60-40 split. Let's see how much room it adds once we drop the third row seat down. So there you go. This is how much room it has with the third row down. Not too bad. What do we have in the third row seat? All I can see is a set of cup holders in here. Do we have a chargers on here? Yep, there is a charger on the right hand side, not on the left hand side. So if you have your favorite kid, you put them on the right hand side. Well, it's, as far as the roominess, this seat is adjusted to my regular driving position. I'm 6 feet tall, so if I was sitting behind me, I would have plenty of knee room. I still have a few inches above my head, and the shoulder room is not bad at all. Now the seats are very nice, very comfortable. And here, this seat, by the way, adjusts too, so I can move it, slide it forward and back, and that to add a little bit more room to people in the back. So let me do this. Let me move this seat up here. That's where I would be fairly comfortable, almost touching, but not really. And then I'm going to jump inside the back and see if I have enough room to sit in there. So guys, I'm going to attempt to get in the third row seat to see how much roominess we have there. In order to do that, there's a button on the side of the seat, and when I press it, here's what happens. The seat moves forward, and I'm gonna try my contortionist skills to see if I can fit in the back here. Now, if I move this seat back, I'm gonna be smashing my knees. So like I said, it would have to be moved a few inches forward, then I could barely fit. But the seat's definitely made for kids or people of much smaller stature than 6 feet tall. I wouldn't last here for more than maybe 10-15 minutes. It would drive me nuts. Very small, very claustrophobic, so let me get out of here and let you see the rest of this interior. We're going to start this interior tour right in the back door in here. And I got to tell you, some people say, well, what makes the difference between the Infiniti and the Nissan? And these are small details like this. This is nicely leather wrapped. This is a real leather, nice contrast stitching. You even see this trim. It looks definitely premium. So it is kind of this three-dimensional trim with the aluminum right at the bottom. You do have a manual sunshade, which is really nice, and then you have some storage underneath here. Now, if you still weren't sure which vehicle you're driving, it says that Infiniti right there. And then let's look at the seats itself. Nicely contoured, nicely trimmed. You have the perforated leather in the middle. You have the solid on the sides. Very nice design. This flips open, gives you 2 cup holders. You can move it away. And when I told you there is a button to move the seats up and to the front, this is how you do it. And then you have that third row seats. Not too much room in here, but if you have kids, perfect for it. All right, well, let's move this back. Let's see what else we have. Okay, so jumping in here, you can see you have your own screen to control the temperature. So this is a tri-zone climate control. You have one in the back here and 2 zones in the front. And then you have your USB-C, USB, and the regular power outlet. No hump in the middle, which is really nice. 3 people can sit comfortably in the second row seat. And this vehicle also has a panoramic sunroof. All right, let's do the mandatory sound check on the door. Oh my goodness, this is, I think it's even better than the Pathfinder. It's one of the best in its class. And then the door itself, all right, I love this trim. Let me give you a close-up of it. Not sure what they call it, but it's really sharp looking. And then this aluminum, that stitching around it, it's really, really high-end. And then you have the regular stuff. You have the fold-out mirrors, you have the mirror controls, you have the lock, unlock, memory settings for the seats. All right, Infiniti badge right here, power controls, driver and passenger seat. One thing I won't be able to show you once I get inside of it, you have more storage right underneath here. And This is because they don't have the wheel shifter. They have this electronic shifter, so all this space is freed out, which is nice use of space right there. Tilt and telescoping steering wheel, of course. Okay, and it is power, which is nice features. You have your dimmer for the instrument cluster. Well guys, if you like the exterior of this vehicle, let's take a look of what's hiding inside of it, because this is absolutely stunning. I think it's one of the best transformations of a vehicle for 2022 model year that I have seen. Now check out this dashboard right here. The premium elements, that's what makes the difference between the Pathfinder and this. Now you have a nice soft touch top right here, this nice, really nice trim. We've seen that on the doors. Now leather wrapped bottom portion of the dashboard, leather wrapped right around here, contrast stitching, really nice, really visible. Now the vents go all the way. They're kind of not in your face. I'm not particularly fond of the piano black, but this one doesn't bother me one bit. And then you have this big screen. This is the 12.3 inch screen. Another 12-inch screen is right here in front of me. And then obviously the leather wrapped steering wheel, very nice to the touch, just the right thickness. Bottom portion is flat on it. You do have the pedal shifters because it's not a CVT transmission anymore, and then you have a bunch of buttons on it. Where do you start the car? Now this is where the magic happens. You can see we're going to go over this screen right here, but this is start and stop button. Push the brake right in and let's see what happens. You see this QX60 appears on the screen, and then right away it's got a few zones right on it, and then it disappears, and then it says that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seat belts are unlatched. That's including mine as well, but that's for the rear passengers. So just in case, you know, if you were taking off and there are kids in the back, you can see who's wearing the seat belt and who's not. But let's take a look. Let's go back to this screen right here. We can see this car. So then it tells you that the blind spot assist is on, forward collision warning is, the zone is off. Let's go back in here, and then you have the lane keep assist, and that's what the standard features are as far as safety. There's more than that, but fully digital screen, 12-inch, like I mentioned before. On the left-hand side, you have the tachometer, right-hand side speedometer, then you have the temperature gauge and the fuel gauge at the bottom. Now, you can customize it to a certain extent. So when I hit this menu button right in here, you can see, okay, shortcut menu. So you have the change meter view, audio source, driver's assistance, personal display, and the personal display is going to be right in here. So you can see when I go time to destination, navigation, or blank, this is what's going to change on the left hand side right here. So somewhat customizable. I mean, whatever you like. I mean, it's not like a fully customized like the Mercedes-Benz FBUX, but you know, it's pretty good. Steering assist on, so that's for the driver's assist. Let's go back, and then you have a few other features in here. At the bottom you can see like those icons that are moving. So you have this navigation, tire pressure, fuel economy, then the home button right here, then you have your media, of course, the safety features, and then your settings. And what do we have in the settings? Now we have the VDC settings, driver assistance, personal display, eco mode settings, TPMS settings, clock, vehicle. Let's see what's in vehicle settings. Lighting, welcome headlight, etc. accent lighting. This one, does it have it? Yeah, it does have some kind of a little bit of an ambient lighting that you can basically just adjust the brightness of it, but that's cool that it does have it. And then we can go back, wipers, personal drive mode. Oh, this is pretty cool. So you can adjust your personal drive mode, eco, sport, standard, acceleration, steering. You can adjust that into sport or standard, which is nice. Trace control, and then reset. So this one gives you somewhat customizable drive mode as well. Pretty cool, very nice, very bright. I like that this is not very shiny, that this is not, does not reflect the light as much as some of the other screens do. So very nice job as far as that. It's kind of toned down, but it's very visible as well. So what do we have? what do we have on the screen right here? So first of all, it's a 12.3 inch screen, brand new infotainment system from Nissan. We've seen basically the same thing, maybe a little bit toned down on the Pathfinder. Several ways to control it. Okay, so you can control this screen with touchscreen. So if I hit go home right now, it's going to turn the navigation, it's going to tell me to go home. But basically it's going to tell me to go right back to the dealership because that's where the home is set up for. So it tells me that, hey, I'm 1,000 feet if I really go around this parking lot. And we can go back in here. You can also control this screen through this controller right here. And basically select when twisting it, or you can go side to side and then you can hit OK to select it. I personally like to control it via the touchscreen, and I'm glad that Infiniti actually left the touchscreen, not like the Acura MDX, which is also through the controller. So I like that idea of a touchscreen. At the bottom here, you have a certain icons, so phone, info, audio, map, connections, settings, and then the regular menu. And as you can see, this main home screen is kind of split up in two. So you can see this Infiniti clock right here, very nice. If you remember, the old Infinitis used to always have like this analog clock somewhere on the vehicle, and it was very nice design. And this one, they went away with putting just the analog clock, but they still put that analog clock picture of it. But what I want to point out in here is the map. So check this out. So when you just started off with the map, it just takes up a little bit of this screen, and at first I was disappointed, but then I discovered this button right here that lets you stretch the map all over the screen. It takes up the entire real estate of this screen. Really nice, really visible, very, very nice job on this. And so if you want to hide it and go back, there you go. So this goes back to your main menu. Let's see right here. So that's basically what you have. One other thing that you want to point out, that I want to point out in here, is when you put it in reverse, it turns on a backup camera. And now it tells you that, hey, I'm too close to the curb, basically in the front. So it's going to give me a little bit of a warning. I'm going to pull up so I don't hear that noise anymore. But I want to point out that nice quality camera that is here, and between this camera and the 360, it basically takes up the entire screen. Now it does have, of course, the trajectory lines that move with the steering wheel. What I would like to see is the trajectory line for the front of the vehicle on the 360. That's really, really helpful, especially like, see, I'm standing next to another vehicle, and if I had this, I would know whether I'm going to hit it with the front of my car or not. So let's not do that. That's crazy. Turn off the camera, and there you go. So we move down here. Like I mentioned, a really, really nice vents, and I really like this screen right here. Even though this is going to be a magnet for fingerprints, I can already see that happening because it's all this shiny black glass, but that gives you so much control. It kind of reminds me of the Range Rover ventilated seats. Very nice feature in Florida, but they're also heated in here, and they're both for driver and passenger. You can see, as you can see, it's a dual zone climate control in the front. There's a separate zone for the back, and you can adjust your temperature right with these knobs right here. Then you can turn on or off, then climate control, and then you have some buttons for the radio. You do have a volume knob and the power button, which is really, really nice. By the way, radio sounds good. Okay, that's about as long as I can listen without that hitting me for the copyright, although I'm not sure if they will or not. And then seek, track, tune folder. You can customize the screen as far as night and the daytime viewing, so it's going to dim it or it's going to brighten it up. And then you have your heated steering wheel, rear controls. This is for your air conditioning, rear lock right now, so I have it locked in the back, and then I can unlock it and hit the rear control, and then this adjusts the fan speeds in the back. Okay, different modes, AC on and off, air recirculating button, etc. Really nicely incorporated in the interior of this vehicle. So they have this electronic shift knob right now, which almost looks like the real one, but because they don't have this drive-by wire, they don't have any of this mechanical component. Remember this is empty, so you can put some stuff underneath there, which is really nice. So how do you switch gears? Okay, in order to put it in the regular gear, all you have to do is put it, and the D is gonna be selected. If you do it one more time, it switches to M, which is the manual mode. It's gonna enable your pedal shifters in here. Same thing, in order to put it in reverse, you have to press this little button on the side, put it in reverse, turn on the rear view camera, and of course park button is right here. So this is it. Start and stop button, drive modes. Let's see what's preset. Remember, we have this personal drive mode, but there's also a couple other ones. So the personal is, you can set it all yourself. Sport, standard, and eco, those are the drive modes that are available. And the button right underneath here is to turn on or off that automatic stop engine button. You have your electronic parking brake, then you have the auto hold, that's for your brakes. Basically, if you press the brake, if this is enabled, you press the brake and hold it for a little bit, and then you let go, the vehicle will not move until you actually hit the accelerator. So this is the controller for that middle screen. It's actually nicely wrapped in this plastic, but aluminum looking plastic. And then you have some shortcuts in here. So audio, menu, map, voice. This is your back button, camera. That's gonna turn on your front camera right here. So look at this, how nice we can see in the front, and then it's showing you the area that the camera is viewing. So right now we're far enough from the curb. If I move this vehicle forward, see, it's going to give me a warning and says, hey, you're getting too close to this. So let's just stop it. And then what else do we have on this vehicle in here? So this, I don't think that this particular one has the wireless charging, but it does have the USB-C and the USB ports in here, and it does have cup holders. And what do we have inside of this storage compartment? So storage is fairly big for the size of this vehicle, but remember, you have some more storage underneath it. So USB and the regular 12-volt outlet, that's what you can find in here. And then let's move up to this console right at the top of here. So you have your light controls, then you have your sunroof control. This button right here, that controls basically just a shade to open it up and let more air inside of the sunroof. This button actually slides the sunroof open. Okay, so it's not the biggest panel roof, but it is bigger than most. So this is a pretty nice feature. And I don't know about you guys, I love the interior of it. Let me know in the comment section below what you think. I think it's one of the greatest designs of this year, to be honest with you. And I can't wait to take it for a spin. So hopefully you come with me. Well guys, the car is running, the truck, SUV, however you want to call it, is running. I'm ready to go. One of the things that I want to point out is that this is the second from the bottom car up. So I mean, this is not a base model. The base one would be Pure. This is the Luxe version. Then there's also Sensory, and then there's also autograph versions of this vehicle. And if you do look at the Infiniti's website, they do tell you that it is a very limited vehicle. So go test drive to your local dealership. A lot of the dealerships have one that's available for test drive, so you can check it out yourself, and then you can order one. I was told delivery times varies, but it's usually about 2 months, maybe a little bit longer, depending on really what you want to get. So if you hit the build button on the Infiniti's website, it's going to tell you that your basic Infiniti Pure that starts at $46,850, and then you can also add the all-wheel drive, which this one doesn't have, but with the all-wheel drive you can send basically 50% off the power into the back wheels, and that adds about $2,000. So the all-wheel drive costs about $2,000 extra. Then the Luxe starts at $52,900 with the all-wheel drive $54,900. This one has a few extra options that I'm going to list in the description of this video, and it's stickered at about $55,000 and some change. Then the Sensory, it's at $56,350 with the front wheel drive and $58,350 with the all-wheel drive. and the Autograph, which I'm sure you've seen some of the videos on. That's the most reviewed vehicle out of the QX60. Starts at 60,350, 63,250 with the all-wheel drive, intelligent all-wheel drive. So this is your pricing, and of course you can add some of the other equipment to them to make it more personalized to you. You might want to choose your different colors, wheels, interior options, etc. One of the things before we start driving, new style Infiniti key. This is the smart entry system. I like how they integrated so many buttons, and the key still looks pretty good. I have the wheel all the way to the left, and let's turn it around. Wow, I have to tell you that this is a pretty tight turning radius. Very nice. All right off the bat, what you can experience in this vehicle is that it's very quiet. That definitely the noise dampening makes a big difference, huge difference on this vehicle. And we're gonna just accelerate right here. Okay, am I in the sport mode? Yep, I'm gonna put it in the sport mode. I was in standard, so I'm gonna see if I can go a little bit on the side street. Unfortunately, the speed limit is not 60 here, so we're now gonna test out 0 to 60. I stop, and then I'm gonna see if I can actually accelerate with this vehicle. Front wheel drive, you could hear the wheels spinning a little bit. It's very nice, it's very smooth, nice shifting, really nothing to complain about. Definitely feels more premium than the Pathfinder. Now, there's nothing wrong with the Pathfinder, it was nice, but this one is just more quiet and you feel that luxury in it. So definitely a plus for being a premium vehicle. Great job, Infiniti. I think it's a great comeback for the brand, and I hope to see more of the vehicles such as this one from Infiniti. I know there's a couple of them that are due for redesign. I haven't really reviewed much of them, but now thanks to the guys over at the Infiniti of Sarasota, I'm hoping to bring you more of these vehicles. So thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate every single view, and I really hope that you learned something from this video. And if you did, put it in the comment section below. Become part of Matt the Car Guy family. Hit that little subscribe button, the bell notification. That's going to tell you when I release a new video, and I post twice a week. And until then, I will see you in my next video. Cheers.